favorite agent, Kanya the Property Guy. Guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be trying to post on a regular basis now because I've failed my goal of this year of reviving the channel, but I'm going to be trying again. So I want to post very often right now because this is where I can share, the long form process or long form information. On today's video, I want to speak about the selling process when you are thinking of selling your property in South Africa. It's really not that difficult. It's really not that complicated. Yeah. So in South Africa, you're able to sell your house yourself, or you're able to use a real estate agent. Now, a lot of people, use real estate agent, most of the people, and thank you for that, because without you guys, people like myself wouldn't have a job. And then there's quite a few that choose to sell it themselves, and then they go throughout the process, and they just wing it. Yeah, they just wing it. Because when you're selling the property yourself, you don't know what it entails. You don't know the ins and out, and it's like for instance, like a doctor. I don't know if this is actually true, but I think like doctors are not allowed to operate on their own family members, people that they love, because their judgment is compromised. So it's just like somebody selling their own house. They're not clued up on the market value. They're not clued up on the market trends. They're not clued up around what is being sold in the area, because what they have access to is just the Facebook listing in Pro 24. So now they think they see a house in their area that's going for like 1.5. They don't even know that the average in their area is probably like 800,000. And their house, how it looks, what it offers is probably just around $1 million. And they just say, that house is selling for 1.5. My house is better than that house. You are emotionally attached because maybe your house isn't better than that house. And then you're like, no, I'll put my house for 1.6 if they're selling it for 1.5. But when that property is sold, you just see on Pro 24 it says sold. You don't know that it was sold for 1.5. And agents, we have that kind of information because we have systems built in order to allow us to do our work. So we have technology, we are clued up with the deeds office, we know how much each house in the street was sold for. So it was advertised for 1.5, but like when it came to selling, it was actually sold for like 1.1 or 1.3. Yeah, so things like that, the average person doesn't have access to the layman. And then also you don't have the connections that real estate agents have due to us being in the industry. You don't have any transferring attorneys that you can trust and work with. But because we have those relationships, we have bond originators. So when a person comes and views your property and then they want to buy, we are not stuck. We're not now fumbling where to send this person, but we know where to send that person because we have all these structures and systems in place. Yeah. So that's just the value that a real estate agent can bring into your selling process. Okay, but let's jump into today's video. It won't be long. So if you're selling a property, right, and your property, it's a bond, it's attached to a bank, you're still paying a bond on it, you must inform your bank and give your bank 3 months notice. You can give them a call and tell them, listen, I'm intending on selling my property. This is me giving you guys 3 months notice. If you fail to give them 3 months notice, you'll be penalized for that. And I think you penalize 3 months interest, I think it is. Yeah, so that can be a pretty penny that you pay. I remember one property when I was still new in the property industry. Well, I wasn't that new, but I was just under 2 years in the property industry. And I was selling this property that I got. I sold this property within less than 2 months after I got it. I forgot to inform the people due to excitement and lack of experience. I forgot to inform the people to say, hey, the sellers now, you need to call the bank and tell them that you're intending to sell. Because what had happened in that transaction was there was another agent who was competing with me. We wanted to get this house. And so me focused on the competing, and then I ended up winning the house. I got the house, got the sole mandate. But then I forgot the information now. And out of excitement, I got this property, sole mandate, I'll explain all those. And then I forgot to say to the sellers, hey, you need to inform your bank that we're selling the property, right? And got an offer and everything. And then the bank came back and said, but you never informed us that you're selling the property. Bah! 9,000 rand. That was the penalty fee. And who had to pay it? This guy right here. And that's the thing about real estate. Mistakes are very costly in real estate. Mistakes in real estate are very costly. A mistake in real estate, they don't say, oh, Sreb, you made a mistake. No. They're like, okay, you made a mistake. Now pay up. You want the money. That's mistakes in real estate. So anyway, you do that. That's your first step, right? And then now you can contact an agent and get an approval. Not an approval, a evaluation or a appraisal. Because most of agents, they're not qualified to give evaluation, so they give an appraisal or a market assessment of your property, and then a real estate agent is able to do that. Then it comes to now dealing with the property agent in terms of what kind of contract are you going to sign, and there are 4 types, actually 3, but like we'll say there's 4, but this one is the same as that you'll hear. So there's an open mandate, there's a joint mandate, there's a sole mandate, and then there's an exclusive sole mandate. An open mandate is easy, it's open to everybody. You're not loyal, you are just open. Everybody can, any agency can come and sell this property. It's open, it's walalala, everything, it's chaos. This is dangerous because if I, Kanya, come with somebody, a potential buyer to your house, they view that house, they don't like it for whatever reason. A month later, they come with another agent who's also working on this house because it's open mandate, and then they decide to buy it. I, Kanya, can argue for a commission from that thing. So now you have 2 agents arguing for commission because this one saying no, but I sold it. But I'm saying though, I'm the one who introduced this client to you, and that's the technical stuff that we deal in real estate. Because real estate, the question is asked when a sale happens, if in that case. Because there was a case like that, and then they ask, who is the effective cause of the sale? So you would argue, is it the agent A who brought the client first to view the property, or is it the second agent who brought the client and then the client subsequently signed an offer to purchase? You see such things, you don't want such things. Open mandate is just chaos. All these agents rocking up, your house is littered with for sale boards. That's terrible, it doesn't look nice. Option B, a joint mandate, is what me and this other agent in that house where I had to pay 9,000 rands out of my pocket. The seller was going to give us, but this agent messed it up by lying, and then I won it by telling the truth about how the process works. Then, so a joint mandate is between 2 companies, and you'll say, I want these 2 companies to sell. You guys sign a joint mandate. You sign. We sign a joint mandate with the seller, and then we are selling the house, we're marketing the house, and whoever sells it first is able to get 100% commission. Or if the agents know one another and they have a good relationship, they can say, listen, let's do a 50-50. If you sell it, I'll give you 50% of the commission. If I sell it, 50% of the commission. So that's a joint mandate between 2 companies. And then thirdly, it's a sole mandate. It's called a sole mandate. So now this one says you are dealing with one company that is marketing and trying to get a buyer for your property. But in the sole mandate, it doesn't stop you as the buyer from also trying to get us you as the seller, from also trying to get a buyer from your property. So you can also get a buyer from your property. And that's why they came up with the exclusive sole mandate. They came up with the exclusive sole mandate, where it says you as the seller, you are not allowed to get a buyer for your property. It's only the agent that you are busy working with. So only this agent or agency that you are working with that is marketing your property is able to get a buyer for you. And you are not able to come and say, I got a buyer, this next door neighbor of mine said, no. Exclusive sole mandate. It's only this company that deals with it. So that deals with selling your property. So you see, that's why I said they are similar, the sole mandate and exclusive sole mandate. So those are the type of contract that you sign. A lot of the times what I find is that sellers will sign a contract, the agent didn't even explain the contract. They just sign a contract and they don't know. Because that's what we do when we call these houses on the market, and you say, listen, I might have a buyer for your house, but tell me, what kind of deal did you sign? And then, what do you mean, what kind of deal? With the agent that's marketing your property, what kind of deal did you sign? I don't know, I just signed a contract. There are these types of contracts though. Which one did you sign? You see? Then the agent will go and do their thing, market your property on Property24, on their Facebook, on their website, and all on TikTok. and they try to get a buyer for you, then they're able to get a buyer for you. And also these contracts, they have a time limit, either 2 months, 3 months, or 6 months, but they have a time limit. And then when the contract ends, you can say, okay, I want to renew, or you want another agent or agency. So yeah, so let's say your agent gets you a buyer, then you guys come and then the buyer puts in an offer. Now when a buyer puts in an offer, if your property is 1 million, the buyer is allowed to put in an offer of 900,000 if there's space with you, room for negotiation. And then you either decline or accept that offer. And then if you accept the offer, then it moves through. If the buyer is buying via the bank, it needs to go back to a bond originator, and then the bond originator needs to get the best possible deal for that buyer. And then if the deal is as cash, then after you've signed the OTP, the offer to purchase, which is a contract, and you guys have agreed, and you've signed, both parties have signed, the buyer and the seller, then it goes straight to the lawyers. And then in most OTPs, it gives the buyer 7 days, the one that's buying cash, to say in 7 days you must send the money to the lawyer's trust account. And then yeah, so 7 days. If they don't send within 7 days, that contract can be null and void. So if they buy by the bank, it goes to a bond originator, then the bond originator gets a deal, then they get a home loan approval. When they get a home loan approval, then it goes to the lawyers, and then the lawyers go do their magic. So if it's with the bond, it takes 3 months for the property to be transferred into the buyer's name. And then if it's a cash deal, it takes a month for the property to be transferred into the buyer's name, meaning you as the seller, when the date of registration happens, it is registered in the buyer's name. You as the seller don't have a house. You have no house on your name now. Your house is sold. And your money you likely get the next day, but the money is with the lawyers on the date of registration. The money is with the lawyers. So if it's the bank will pay out the lawyers, then the lawyers will settle whatever needs to be settled, the commission of the agent, the COC certificates that need to be done. COC certificates is certificates of compliance. So you have plumbing, a plumber must come out and check if your plumbing is in order. Electrician must come out and issue an electrical certificate, COC, and check if everything is in order according to electric wise. And then also there's a beetle inspection, which deals with the wood and all that stuff. If there's electrical fence, you need a COC for that as well. So that's what you as the seller pay. You pay the commission of the agent, you pay the COCs, and then the buyer will pay the lawyers. Yeah, and yeah, I think I've covered it. You see, it's not that of a big complicated case. So as I was saying, when the house is registered, then you as the seller, you get your money the next day, but the money is with the lawyers. So you need to move out on date of registration and go to wherever you've made arrangements to go be, and then the next day your funds will be paid out. So if you, for instance, you were owing on municipal bills, that money will be taken from the purchase price. Yeah, so and then whatever's left from that, if you are owing the bank, that money will be taken from the purchase price, and then whatever is left will be paid out onto you. So that's the sales process. If you have any questions, leave a comment below, and then I'll answer those questions. But yeah, for this session, I told you, sweet and brief, Kanya, your favorite real estate agent, Kanya, that property guy.